Im vergangenen Jahr 2021
Last year, Hamburg hosted the comprehensive ITS World Congress that a lot of planning went into. And there was a project in which the HPA played a key role, what's known as Home Port. For all this, a whole new quarter was created the other side of the old Elbtunnel. That's also about creating alliances and bringing a diverse range of innovative players together. What was at the heart of the Home Port project, the key idea driving the project? And going back to what you've already said, not just talking but doing. If I go through the old Elbtunnel and I exit the other end, I'll find containers and people working there with people doing things. What's behind that? Well, we're trying to make sure Hamburg continues to establish itself as a centre for innovation, because we believe that real businesses, whether startups, new or established companies, want to try out things here, and we want to bring them together. And we created a place to experiment, for example, with drones that move on land, on water, and in the air. It was an ideal place to demonstrate that on the fringes of the ITS Congress. Large drones that can carry heavy payloads by air, or floating drones, which is more like our core competency, drones that could demonstrate their abilities on or under the water. I was particularly pleased that we could demonstrate 3D printing here with our partners, that we managed to show how spare parts could be produced with this technology. An idea that we are always keen to pursue is showing what's possible in the same place, and showing that actually maybe that's a good idea, producing things in one place and then transporting them from there using drones, for example, to where they're needed. And that's the idea behind Home Port. And that's without even talking about everything that was on show there. One thing that I think has yet to be fully appreciated is that we demonstrated a technology involving the equipping of the port with mobile technology. So if you want to enable autonomous flight and autonomous driving, then you also need a secure radio or Wi-Fi connection. And technologies like these were demonstrated there as well. So these things all belong together. The end consumer or customer sometimes just sees a flying drone, which looks pretty spectacular. But we're more interested in security, simplicity, and business processes and models, which will ultimately contribute to the Port of Hamburg's operations in a profitable and sustainable way. And with Home Port, we could demonstrate that very well. And there are many other innovative model projects, for example, Project Mozart, Green for Transport, and here too we have a few pictures for you. We have 3 areas to present in ITS from the point of view of the HPA. On the one hand, infrastructure management, so Smart Bridge, our digital twin of the Kohlbrandbrücke. Then we have the issue of traffic management, where we try our various approaches, and then the use of Mozart, as in quantum computing or quantum-inspired technology, as a way of controlling the transport network across the whole of the port. And there really are impressive, innovative transport systems in the Port of Hamburg. We have a few pictures related to TSB cargo here. Let's look at that. If I've understood it correctly, it's actually a maglev train within the Port of Hamburg. Is it a prototype or is it already in use? Yes, this is of course a demonstration. The technology is only available as a pilot for now, but we can see that it works. And I'm very grateful to the company Bergler for showing it to the Port of Hamburg, because it showed the academics and engineers how such loading mechanisms, such a transport device, could work. You could get an impression of the soundscape and get a sense of how easy it makes transport. We're now going to see whether a system like this could be implemented by carrying out a feasibility study.
Ob sich so ein System durchsetzt, werden wir jetzt im Nachgang natürlich in einer Studie auch nochmal ermitteln.
I'm not going to do advertising for just one means of transport, but we gained important insights here. For example, that maglev technology can cope with more radical height differences compared to standard rail technology. On the other hand, you have trains that can transport a lot more containers at the same time compared to a single-carriage maglev train. So you have to weigh up the advantages. But it's definitely a technology that we're familiar with in Germany, and which we should at least look at more closely to see whether it's an alternative, sustainable mode of transport. So can a project like this be used as a blueprint, that is, tested in the Port of Hamburg, and then, once approved, take it to the rest of the world? Well, the goal of such demonstrators initially is just to see that the technology is working, and we could definitely show that here. But then, of course, you have to analyze the technologies. Are they really feasible in a business context? Because no technology is going to get established if it only ever produces losses. As an example, if you try and solve local transport problems like the one in Sao Paulo in Brazil by using drones that transport people, you'll fail. You just wouldn't be able to have all those drones flying at once. That's an extreme example. Here too, we'll be asking how many containers we can really move using a maglev rail from A to B. Is it a competitive model? But looking at it with an eye to the future, in terms of CO2 emissions, sustainability, speed, noise, and what the neighbors think of it, and then see what comes out of it. But it's very important to us as the HPA to look at these things and be able to give well-founded answers when we're asked.
Eine fundierte Aussage treffen zu können, wenn wir gefragt werden.